The Resident Assessment Instrument, also referred to as RAI, is a process that was designed to help improve the quality of care and life of residents living in nursing homes. The RAI helps nursing facilities to collect pertinent information about their residents so that they're able to develop comprehensive, individualized care plans that will help attain or maintain a resident's highest practicable level of well-being. MDS coordinators play a key role in ensuring that this process is implemented accurately in their facilities. In this video, which is the first video of my MDS Coordinator 101 series, I will provide you with an overview of the RAI and the purpose for its implementation, specifically as it pertains to resident care. So if you're a new MDS coordinator or you're looking to become one, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the Resident Assessment Instrument, stick around because this video is for you.
No Stress, MDS, with Mike D. Taking the stress out of MDS, one puzzle piece at a time.
Hey everyone, welcome to No Stress MDS. My name is Mike D. I'm a registered nurse and MDS coordinator, and here on my channel, it's my goal to provide tutorials, tips, and tricks that will help you take the stress out of MDS one puzzle piece at a time. So let me give you a quick history lesson on the origins of the RAI. Due to the rising concerns about the care being provided in nursing homes, in 1986, Congress had commissioned the Institute of Medicine to conduct a comprehensive study concerning nursing home care in the U.S. The findings from this study included a number of unfortunate realities about the then current state of nursing home care, including the prevalence of inconsistent assessments of residents, lack of care planning, undertreated mood disorders and delirium, overuse of restraints and psychotropic medications, catheter overuse, and tragically, abuse and neglect. The study resulted in a comprehensive report that included recommendations for improving care within nursing facilities. These recommendations became the foundation for the numerous laws and regulations that were put into place for nursing homes in the passing of the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1987, more commonly referred to OBRA. If you're serious about a profession in the long-term care industry, I highly recommend reading the Institute of Medicine report, Improving the Quality of Care in Nursing Homes. It really paints the picture of how we got to where we are now in our industry. I'll leave a link to the downloadable report in my description box below. Some of the major changes in the nursing home regulations that came from this OBRA 87 surrounded the mandatory requirement for utilizing a standardized assessment process, which is the Resident Assessment Instrument. So now in the post-OBRA 87 world, to remain in compliance with the federal regulations, nursing facilities that are Medicare and/or Medicaid certified must conduct initial and periodic assessments of their residents utilizing the RAI process. The regulations also require a registered nurse to conduct or preferably coordinate these assessments with the appropriate participation of other health professionals. Failure to comply with these requirements could result in survey citations and even decertification. Most facilities utilize a registered nurse as an MDS coordinator, who is then responsible for coordinating the RAI process within their center. Now, that's not to say that an LPN or an LVN cannot function in the role. However, according to federal regulation, an RN still must coordinate the process and sign for every MDS conducted to certify its completion. So let's talk about the RAI process and what it actually looks like. Many people think that the RAI process is just the completion of the MDS, but it's so much more than that. The MDS is a key component in the RAI, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. The RAI is actually comprised of three components. This includes the MDS, or the minimum data set, the CA, or care area assessment process, and the utilization guidelines. The minimum data set, or the MDS, is the first component of the RAI process. It is a standardized and reproducible assessment tool that collects basic physical, functional, and psychosocial information about the resident using a core set of data elements. Now, when you hear the terms data elements or items, this is typically referring to the questions or the specific areas within the domains that are being assessed. For example, most MDS assessment types require facilities to assess the resident's urinary continence status. This particular data element is item H0300, urinary continence. You can see here that the data element reads, urinary continence, select the one category that best describes the resident. It then lists 5 responses available for the assessor to select. These data elements make up the foundation of a comprehensive assessment. There are several different types of MDS assessments and tracking records with varying requirements for completion, and the data elements included in each assessment type vary based on the particular item set required for completion. For example, an admission MDS, which is a comprehensive item set, contains more data elements than, let's say, a quarterly item set. Most assessment types require assessors to collect information over several domains. These sections or domains include identification information or demographics, hearing, speech, and vision, cognitive patterns, mood, behavior, preferences for customary routine and activities, functional abilities and goals, bladder and bowel, active diagnoses, health conditions, swallowing nutritional status, oral dental status, skin conditions, medications, special treatments, procedures and programs, restraints and alarms, and participation in assessment and goal setting. Depending on the state you live in, there may be an additional section in your MDS where you have to assess state-specific information as well. The MDS is the starting point for the RAI process, as it provides the foundation for a more thorough assessment process. The information collected in the MDS helps nursing facilities to identify actual or potential areas of concern, which is further evaluated in the next component of the RAI, the CA process. The CA, or Care Area Assessment process, requires nursing facilities to home in on key issues identified during the MDS assessment process by further evaluating the care area triggers, also referred to as CATs. This process, in conjunction with the MDS, constitutes a comprehensive assessment, which is why this process is only required to be followed for the completion of a comprehensive assessment type. This process allows nursing facilities to form the critical link between the triggered care areas found on the MDS and the decision-making process in regards to the development of the comprehensive care plan. There are 20 care areas that may require further evaluation depending on whether the area is triggered based on the CAT logic. The CAT logic can be found in Chapter 4 of the RAI manual. It provides information regarding how nursing facilities should analyze the responses on the MDS to determine if further evaluation is required to fully assess a particular area. Care area assessments are triggered based on MDS responses. For example, a dehydration care area assessment will be triggered if item J1550A1 problem condition fever was coded on the corresponding MDS, whereas a falls CA would be triggered if E0900 wandering, presence, and frequency was coded 1, 2, or 3, indicating that wandering had occurred during the observation period. Luckily, many facilities utilize MDS software with automated systems to trigger CAs. However, if you ever needed to determine which CAs must be completed manually, the RAI manual does provide CAT logic tables to help you make those determinations. As I mentioned, there are 20 care area assessments. These care areas reflect common conditions, symptoms, and other areas of concern found among residents living in nursing homes. These care area assessments include delirium, cognitive loss dementia, visual function, communication, activity of daily living, functional rehabilitation potential, urinary incontinence and indwelling catheter, psychosocial well-being, mood state, behavioral symptoms, activities, falls, nutritional status, feeding tubes, dehydration, fluid maintenance, dental care, pressure ulcer injury, psychotropic medication use, physical restraints, pain, and return to community referrals. CMS does not mandate that facilities use any specific tool for completing the additional assessment of triggered care areas. Instead, facilities are instructed to identify and use tools that are grounded in current clinical standards of practice. Multiple MDS software companies offer and have integrated the CMS created tool, Review of Indicators form, to be used in the assessment of the care areas. But the use of this form, again, is not mandated for use by CMS, nor are the resources provided in the manual specifically endorsed by them. Regardless of the tool used, the medical record should contain written documentation of the COF findings and the overall decision-making process. The last component of the RAI is the utilization guidelines. The utilization guidelines provide nursing facilities with instructions for determining how and when to properly use the RAI. The utilization guidelines are commonly known as the RAI Manual or the Long-Term Care Facility Resident Assessment Instrument 3.0 User's Manual. In this 1,700-plus page manual, facilities can find the information and instructions needed for completing the RAI, such as when to schedule the various assessments, how to code items on the MDS, and definitions of terms used throughout. In my description box, I'll leave a link to the CMS page where you can download a free copy of the RAI Manual. Also, be sure to check out my video on my top 4 tips for navigating and understanding the RAI Manual. I will also leave a link to this video below. I hope you found the information shared in this video to be helpful, and if you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. This is the first video in my MDS Coordinator 101 series, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notifications bell so you don't miss the next video in the series. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.
Thank you for joining us for No Stress, MDS. If you have suggestions for topics you would like to see covered, we would love to hear from you. For additional resources, education, and MDS merchandise, you can find us on the web at www.nostressmds.com. Until next time, remember, you can take the stress out of MDS by putting the puzzle together, one piece at a time.